I'm sure you have other things to do. So what I've done is created a course so you can learn all of my A-star revision techniques at your own leisure. It consists of a 200-page manual which literally walks you through step by step on how to get the grade you desire in GCSE maths. Whether it's an A-star in maths or just a pass grade, this guide will show you exactly how to do that. You'll be given a detailed revision schedule so you know what you have to do from day one right up to the day of your exam. You just simply have to copy it, and in the end you'll get your target grade. It's really that straightforward. It comes with 3 sets of video tutorials, one for the foundation tier, one for the higher tier, and one for the IGCSE higher tier, as the IGCSE is becoming more and more popular these days. There are over 8 hours of video footage of me going through the trickiest exam questions of the syllabus. The examiners are looking to catch you out, but over the last few years I trawled through the past papers of every exam board and pulled out all of these trick questions. By understanding these questions alone, you'll boost your result by 1 or 2 grades. As I said, I went through the past papers of every exam board, so this manual can be used by any math student, whether you're taking the Edexcel exam or the AQA or even the OCR board. It's also suitable for the new specification released in September 2015. You know, the one with the new grading system from 9 to 1? They spun the content around and moved a lot of the higher tier topics into the foundation tier, but you don't have to worry about this. I've identified all of these topics for you so you'll know exactly what sections to cover. Here are some examples of students who have made rapid progress in the new 9 to 1 specification after using my revision strategy. First we have Prabjot from Kent. She moved from a 6th grade to an 8th grade within the space of a month. She said, "If anyone were to ask me what revision guide they should buy, I would tell them in a heartbeat to buy yours." Then there is Abby from London. She went from a 5- to a 5+ in just 5 weeks, scoring 54 out of 55 in her most recent test. That's almost 100%. She said, "This is the best revision program I have ever used." Anyone can use my strategy. Even if you're down and out, even if you feel hopeless at maths, you can still follow my strategy and boost your grade considerably. Sim from West London went from an F grade to a pass grade in her GCSE maths. In one of her modules she actually scored 100%. The proof is there right in front of your eyes. That is a copy of her result slip. Ambreen from Sheffield, one of my best students to date, went from a U to a pass grade. A U grade. Do you know what a U grade means? Ungraded. She virtually started off with a score of 0, but with a change in attitude and my unique revision strategy, her result improved dramatically. You will also discover the fatal mistake most students make during their revision. It's so subtle, yet it can have a devastating effect on your final grade. It's so easy to make because you would think it's just part and parcel of revision. It is something you'd naturally do, but in reality it seriously jeopardizes your grade. This is the simple reason why 90% of GCSE math students underachieve in their final exam every year. Aaron, another one of my students from West London, was making the same mistake and failed his GCSE maths first time round. Once he realised where he was going wrong, he cruised through his resit, scoring 90% in the process. Dia, also from West London, believe it or not, her teacher advised her to make this mistake. Her teacher, had she followed what her teacher said, she would have ended up with a C grade, but thankfully she didn't. She followed my advice and she achieved an A in her final exam. Another thing you'll learn from this guide is the most important area of your revision, the area that goes widely unnoticed. People put a lot of emphasis on past papers, but at the end of the day, past papers don't guarantee anything. I've seen many students work through practice paper after practice paper and still underperform in the exam. Why? Because they didn't dedicate as much time to this other area. Without focusing on this other area, past papers actually become pointless. As a matter of fact, in the last few days leading up to your exam, there is no need to do any past papers. Really, there isn't, and I'll explain why in the guide. What you should be focusing on in the last few days is my top 3 memory retention techniques so you can remember everything you need to know for your exam and virtually guarantee your target grade. Lastly, and is probably the most important thing, I will show you how to revise efficiently so you can free up as much as 50% of your time. I personally know of people who used to lock themselves in their rooms and revise around the clock. Do you honestly think barricading yourself in a room and reading a massive textbook is natural for you? Is this going to do any good for your mental and physical well-being? No, of course not. This is the biggest misconception when it comes to studying. People have this assumption that you have to revise endlessly to get good results, but it's so untrue. I strongly believe less is more. As long as you focus on the right things, it is possible to achieve top grades in your exams while spending half your time doing the things you enjoy. I used to do it all the time, so there is no reason why you can't do it too. In my guide, I'll show you my small rule of thumb that will allow you to free up as much as 50% of your time. You just have to put it in place and you'll have much more free time on your hands so you can do other things such as going on Facebook, watching films, or hanging out with friends. Imagine getting a top grade whilst doing all of those things. It would feel great, wouldn't it? This is the ideal lifestyle every student seeks, and believe me, by using my trick, it's not that difficult to obtain. This is what Ivan, another student of mine from Co-Antrim, said about my tip. Jeevan's rule of thumb is so simple yet so effective. When I put it into practice, it allowed me to free up half of my time. At the end of the day, revision is not about work, work, work. And check this out, this is why I love Dia so much. She hit the nail on the head with this one. I think she understood this rule better than me, because what she did, I don't think I would have the guts to do. Just 2 days before her final GCSE maths exam, she went to Fort Park. She spent the whole day at Fort Park, yes, and you can see proof of this on the screen right now. This was a tweet posted 2 days before her exam. At first I was a little skeptical. Just 2 days before your exam? You're taking a bit of a gamble there. But she explained to me up to that point she followed all my revision principles down to a T and felt she had stored everything she needed to know for her exam. She could afford to miss a whole day of revision and it wouldn't affect her, and it didn't. In the end, she still got a solid A grade. That is the beauty about my revision program. As long as you follow it, you can afford to take time off and do other things you love to do, and you will not forget a single thing. This is not like your typical revision guide. Revision guides these days are just packed with information. What is good about a ton of information if you don't know how to apply it? These revision guides won't tell you the most critical mistake made when revising for a maths exam. They won't discuss the most important area of revision in detail as I've done, and they certainly won't teach you how you can free up 50% of your time. As Kimran from West London said, it's nothing like your usual revision guide because Jeevan's is a well-defined strategy. Jeevan shows you exactly what to do to achieve a top grade in GCSE maths in a step-by-step format. Amberine, the student who went from a U grade to a pass grade in maths, said, "Your resources are amazing, Jeevan. They are far better than the other revision guides I wasted money on. As you can see, my material is nothing like the run-of-the-mill revision guides you find in the local shops." Sounds great so far? Well, it gets a whole lot better because as part of this package I will throw in a number of bonus manuals too. The first is a smaller booklet called GCSE Maths Master Shortcuts. This neat little resource contains all the best shortcuts ever discovered in GCSE Maths. By using these shortcuts you'll solve questions quicker and look like a genius in front of your peers and teachers. The second booklet, called GCSE Maths Tricks of the Trade, builds on from all of the exam questions in the main revision guide. Up till now, this guide was given exclusively to students I tutored in my local area, but now I'm giving it away for free as part of the package. This guide contains all of the areas a typical student would drop marks on. By being aware of these areas, you will achieve near the 100% mark, let alone your target grade. This guide comes in very handy in the last few weeks of revision when you need something easy to refer to. The last bonus guide that I'm including in this package is probably the most important. The only thing that can prevent you from achieving a top grade in GCSE Maths is other GCSE exams. You probably have a whole host of exams to revise for, and this will obviously have an impact on your final GCSE Maths grade. I don't want your GCSE Maths grade to improve while your other ones suffer. That's why I created a guide on maximising your result in every GCSE exam. This guide will show you how you can balance out revision so you can achieve a top grade in all your subjects. I'll show you again how you can do that while spending half your time doing the things you enjoy. I'll go into more detail about why note-taking is not the way forward and how it can actually have an adverse effect on grades. You'll also find out why working back to front actually boosts results in the long run. You've watched my presentation up to this point, which means you're intrigued by my course. You want to achieve the best possible grades in your exams. You want to drop those old habits that are preventing you from fulfilling your true potential. Now there is just one question that remains. How much will this package cost me? Well, let me ask you this. What do you think all of this content is worth to you? If you consider the average rate of private tuition these days is £25 per hour, 8 hours of private tuition will cost you £200. That means the video tutorials alone would be worth £200. What about the 200-page manual? This manual is a documentation of my 15 years of knowledge and experience of the subject. It is a step-by-step strategy on getting your desired grade in GCSE Maths. All you have to do is follow A, B and C, and in the end you'll get the grade you want. Over the last couple of years I have fine-tuned my revision system so you can secure your target grade while spending half your time doing the things you enjoy. This is the dream scenario for any student. Parents have paid me hundreds of pounds for this valuable information in the past, so I think it's safe to say that the guide alone is worth at least £50. Then you have all the bonus material, GCSE Maths Master Shortcuts, GCSE Maths Tricks of the Trade, and how to maximise your result in every GCSE exam. If these guides can help you boost your grades across the board, then I think paying £50 for this extra material would be a fair price to pay. This gives a combined value of £300. Now, parents would be happy to spend that sort of money if it meant their child's grade would improve dramatically and help them secure a high-paying job in the future. Take a look at the statistics for private tuition, for example. On average, parents pay £2,750 a year on private tuition. When you weigh up the two, paying a one-off £300 fee for a guaranteed system that will boost your GCSE grades considerably would be a worthwhile investment, wouldn't you agree? I charge over £40 per hour for face-to-face tuition, and I place my students on more or less the same revision program. Paying £300 for this package would be worth every penny if it maximised your child's results in their GCSE maths and all their other GCSEs and helped them secure a well-paid job in the future. But I understand that this price tag may be a little steep for you. At the end of the day, I want to help as many students as possible. Truth be told, our GCSE maths results as a nation is quite bad, and I feel the UK student population has so much more to offer. Not only that, but our kids are the future. They're going to shape our future economy. That's why I want every kid in the country to have this revision system. I don't want the price to be a hindrance for anyone, and that's why I'm prepared to slash the price by half to £150. £150 would be money well spent for a full revision program with 8 hours of video tutorials and bonus material, but then again, this price may still be a little out of reach for you. So I cut it by half again to £75. At £75, you're grabbing yourself a huge bargain. The price is now equivalent to maybe 3 or 4 sessions with a private tutor. But the only issue is it may put you off from buying it right now if you're a little hard up on cash. That's why I'll cut it by half one last time to £37. That is my absolute final offer for you today, £37. For £37, you'll get my full GCSE revision course, a 200-page manual which walks you through step by step on how to achieve a top grade in GCSE maths. You'll also be given 8 hours of video footage of me going through the trickiest GCSE maths questions from the syllabus. I will also give you bonus material so you can achieve the best grades in all your other GCSE exams too. The best thing about this is you can go through all this material in the comfort of your own home. There is no need to travel to a stranger's house to get tuition. You can go through all of this material at home and as many times as you wish. £37 is the equivalent to a family meal at Nando's or a couple of sessions with a private tutor, yet it will give you everything you need to pass your GCSE exams with flying colours. By the way, this is a downloadable product. Once you hit the buy button below, I'll send you an email with all the content. You don't have to wait for the postman. You can get started with this right away. You can see immediately where you are going wrong in your revision and how to avoid making the same mistakes again. Don't leave your revision to the last minute. You run a much greater risk of underperforming in your final GCSE exams if you do. By starting early, revision is more streamlined and it makes it easier to apply my free up 50% of your time rule. Click the buy button below and get your copy today. You have absolutely nothing to lose. My product comes with a 60-day no questions asked money back guarantee. I'll let you read through my guides, watch the videos and test out my revision principles for 2 months. If it doesn't boost your grades in that time, then I don't want your money. Simply return it to me and I'll give you a full refund. Even if it doesn't work out for you, I'll let you keep all of the bonus materials just for showing some faith in me. How does that sound? I don't think it can get any better than that.